back to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And I am live in San Francisco, California. It's kind of hot today. Got my window wide open, so I'm sure you'll hear the sirens and the fireworks that have been going off for about, I don't know, a month straight since we had our first protests here. I have no idea if we have a protest going on right now. And hopefully everything is peaceful in your neck of the world. Greetings, everyone. All right. Well, I started the day not knowing what the hell I was going to talk about today. I was like, well, I talked about the Star Wars stuff. I guess I could talk about that a little bit from my video. Doomcock dropped a video today. There's a little bit of Lord of the Rings news, which should start to be worrisome at this point. A little bit. I'm not going to bury the show yet, but it's beginning to be worrisome. It looks like it's going in a certain direction that we were all worried about. And I was digging into Jar Jar Abrams' plans for the DCEU. There's been a lot of conflicting articles from the Access Media out there, so I spent the morning looking through those. Then we got some very interesting news from Doctor Who. And you know what? There's always a silver lining in absolutely everything. You can always find an opportunity, something positive. The glass could be half full. And it looks like filming Doctor Who might be problematic. And we'll get into that. But first, let's see who is here. We got Ellen Jacobson. We got Surly Unicorn. We got Lord Funkicus and Curtis Who. And Wabbit7777. How do you feel about the guns being removed from new Looney Tunes? I think it's ridiculous. John Robertson, David Rayner, Planet Mars. Planet Mars. Ian Bailey. The Gray Ghost, thank you for the super chat. I'll get to that in just a moment. Lord Thoth, Chris Scott, Bear, Nerd Fun. What's up, buddy? How you doing? And Fraud Coward. Well, I mean, hey, at least you're honest about it. The Adventuring Nerd. We love adventurous nerds. Lady Gravemaster and her wrench. Welcome. Matthew Matson. Eric K and his wrench. Chris Persia and his wrench. The Modrotics are here. Nettled Nerds is here. What's up? How is it going? It's going a little fast for me, so I'm going to have to go to the other screen so I can continue saying hello. What do we got? Warrior X269. Dan Kagan. Harrowman 36. Sarah B. Suddenly frogs. Suddenly there were frogs. Did you get your frog book? I got my frog book. How am I supposed to say that? So, Pseudolegia Fantastica. And Grandpappy Fisk, Keaton Smith, General 1, Rennie A, Callum Clark, Mr. T, Stephen W, Dina Jamraz, or is that like a silent J? Jamraz, Dina. I'll just say Dina. Hi, Dina. How you doing? My last name's impossible to pronounce too. So, yeah, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna let some people roll in. Yeah, there's been some Star Wars scuttlebutt. Oh yes, and then we can talk about my friend Jeremy being canceled. Well, getting canceled from Twitter, which is, I mean, the best thing that could possibly happen. I've been tweeting the same meme at Naughty Dog. I've done it like 4 times. I need to do it like 4 more times throughout the course of the day. I hope that doesn't annoy people too much, but the whole point is to annoy Naughty Dog for getting my friend freed from Twitter. Jeremy is free to work on his website and his channel and his videos, and he can do what I do, which is I check in to people who are tweeting me and I'm glad I did it today, by the way. I'm glad I did it today because somebody was kind enough to tweet me the Radio Times article that I have gotten kind of out of the habit of checking all the time because there really wasn't much going on with Doctor Who. But Blue Bonnet Whovian was kind enough to send this to me, so I'm very happy about that. And what the hell? Let's get right to it. And this could be very good news. Now, before we get started with the article, I would like to humbly ask you to please, because there's a lot of you out there who have not subscribed to the channel, and I'm nearing a milestone, and we'll talk about what special things we'll do when we hit this milestone, when and if. But I'm close to 250,000 subscribers. I think I'm like 300 away. So if you are out there and you like what I do, please, hopefully, as Jeremy from the Quartering says, hopefully I've earned your subscription today. Like and share the videos. Please do this with your favorite YouTuber as well. And I mean, everybody you watch. YouTube is just not the same place it was even a year ago for independent content creators. And I'm not saying it's, it's like going to the salt mines. Okay, it's still pretty fun, but it requires a little more work, and unfortunately we have to ask. So, and I hate doing it, and we all hate doing it, but you're not going to get anything unless you ask. You can't expect people to just guess and read your mind. So thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who has supported the channel, especially over the last couple of months with the difficult times I know you're all having, the difficult times that we're having here in San Francisco. And there is some major, major flight going on in this town right now. People are leaving like crazy. So, okay. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I hinted a little bit to this in my last Doctor Who video, I have been sitting on rumors, not just one, not just two, but three rumors for a little while now. And I have to consider that this was prior to the events of the last couple of weeks, which I think fundamentally changed entertainment. And we'll talk about that later in the show. But I've got some interesting ones. I'm going to put them. I was going to put them in the last video. I'm like, I'm going to make a whole video about it. Probably short, but there are some changes coming to the show, we'll say. And this doesn't surprise me. This factor I honestly didn't think about. I knew it would delay the show. We're looking at 2022 possibly for any new Doctor Who. And that's, I think it's just obvious at this point. If they can't start filming like right now, if they started filming right now, it would be the end of 2021. So we'll go over this article. Now I haven't read it, so we can, I just read the headline and we can go together. But I already heard it was going to be delayed, and I think a lot of you did too. They are playing around with wanting to split it into 2 seasons, and that's no secret. They put out a survey earlier in the year asking what viewers would think about that. We've got, and the UK, the wonderful, beautiful UK viewers out there can let me know if you guys have heard anything about the BBC. I don't know what the license fee situation is during these very difficult times. You would think people would just stop paying it. And hopefully that's happening. And that will affect this show as well. I didn't realize that the BBC has 18,000 employees. 18,000 employees. Doctor Who can't be made to the current standard under social distancing, says BBC Wales boss. BBC Wales director Rodri Talfin-Davies has cast doubt on whether Jodie Whittaker, the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen, will be back filming new episodes anytime soon. Oh no! Say it ain't so, Rodri. Oh. That is terrible. That is just awful. Well, we still have that Christmas special to look forward to. Will Doctor Who Series 13 be delayed by the lockdown? The answer is yes. Absolutely, positively yes. It's already been delayed by the lockdown. It's been the question on many a Whovian's lips. No, well, actually, yeah, a little bit. We were just kind of hoping for it, though. Ever since the beer bug pandemic forced various TV productions to shut down, and while socially distanced TV is now beginning to film again down in New Zealand, they are filming Avatar as we speak. Well, I don't know about as we speak, but they resumed filming at Weta Studios. A BBC executive has cast doubt on whether Doctor Who could return under those circumstances. It'll be down to social distancing, says Rodri Talfin-Davies, director of BBC Wales, said during an online Q&A when asked about the future of Doctor Who. A production like that, oh really, a sophisticated production like After School Special Doctor Who, which at any point employs hundreds of people, I'm sure you could cut that down a little bit, freelance and stuff, I don't believe can be made to the current standard in a social distance environment. Is this starting to sound like an excuse? It makes me want to stroke my beard in deep thought. It's starting to sound like an excuse. So it depends when you think social distancing is going to end. Davies also noted that, and by the way, the BBC would know before you and me. Davies also noted that these production issues could vary between Wales and England, thanks to the differing social distancing guidelines being enacted by the Welsh Assembly government. Since 2005, Doctor Who has been made in Wales, and for the last few years, filming and production has been centered at the Rothlock production hub in Cardiff Bay. I lived in a town called Cardiff for a little while. Cardiff by the Sea. It's down near San Diego, and all the streets are named after English towns. It may well be that rules on social distancing in Wales are different to those in England, says Davies said. God, you know what? I think when this is all over, is anybody going to want to see a Zoom layout or a streaming layout? That's something that's been on my mind. That might like remind people of these times. I might have to change my layout when things happen. We're live and breaking ground. RTBS Cymru, Wales. Never have 3 heads of broadcasting in Wales taken part in a simultaneous Zoom live stream from their kitchens and living rooms before. It doesn't look very diverse. I'm trying to think of this like Kathleen Kennedy. It just doesn't look very diverse. And we got some repeated information there. And obviously, each production center from those 2 countries is going to need to respond to the specific rules and regulations to each of the governments are introducing. Currently, Doctor Who already has one upcoming episode filmed, the late 2020, early 2021 festival special, Revolution of the Daleks, with Series 13 shooting previously rumored to be kicking off around September 2020 if Davies is correct and socially distanced filming rules still apply by the same time. It could be that Who fans have to wait even longer for the new episodes than previously thought. This is starting to sound like an excuse to me. Oh yes. However, the truth may be more complex than it first appears. While the BBC declined to comment on Davies' remarks, RadioTimes.com understands. By the way, RadioTimes.com has unnamed sources that can debunk other people's unnamed sources. Did you know that? Yes. They have sources that they will not reveal who can debunk other people's sources who they cannot reveal. Understands that the broadcaster still has no concrete plans to delay the start of Doctor Who production, a date for which has never officially been decided anyway. It's also worth noting the social distancing measures have been changing regularly, and by autumn TV production might be able to operate with fewer restrictions. Overall, though, it sounds like there's still a bit of a question mark over the future of Doctor Who. If only we knew someone with a time machine who could go and take a look. Oh, that's so funny. Well, there has been a question mark over Doctor Who. Sorry for the bad pun there. And, I'll get into it in my video. It most certainly was going to be delayed. And I'm spilling a little bit of it now. And again, if they don't start filming right now, they can't get it finished and a complete season finished by the end of 2021. So here's what I suspect is going to happen. We're going to get a final season of Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who, and they'll split it into two. That's my best guess. And they'll try to string it out over years. I mean, this show is dead. It's absolutely dead. If they have to, I mean, the delay wasn't going to help anyway. It was on a downward trajectory. It's not like time off is going to help the show at all. So imagine, look at the percentage of audience that dropped just from premiere episode to premiere episode. It was like a third of the audience had already just split anyway. It'll be another third. So are we going to have Doctor Who getting what, 1.5 million, 2 million viewers in the UK? You got to consider all the people who are unplugging. Now, I guess they could watch it on ITV if they wanted to, or not ITV, but whatever you could. What the heck is it? Whatever you can watch it on BBC. I have an account, by the way. It's very easy to VPN that and watch it over here in the States. So yeah, I think Doctor Who is in serious trouble. I wish I could give you more information now. I'm waiting for more information on these rumors. I'm waiting for more information now. I don't know anybody who works in the BBC. But the BBC does work with licensing. They work with a lot of people. So I know one of those lot of people that they work with, and have known them for years. And they gave me a pretty damn solid rumor earlier in the year. Well, God, last year, 9 months ago, when the BBC iPlayer. Thank you. When I found out the Doctor was originally going to be a female and they were going to just retcon the hell out of it. And oh, folks, they are not done. They are not done. So if there's anybody holding out hope, and this could happen someday when a new showrunner comes, and if they want to erase something and the BBC is okay with that, I'm sure it could possibly happen. I'm not guessing that's going to happen within the next 5 years. This is canon, and it's going to get worse. Much, much worse. So I wish I had better news for Doctor Who fans. The thing is, you can just, there's a point you can pick where it ends for you and just enjoy all the past. I mean, there's so many books out there and comics. Hopefully I can get through them in my lifetime. A bunch of old Big Finish we can watch and enjoy. I still love it. And, the same could be said for Star Trek and Star Wars. And I watched Doomcock's video prior to this. We'll talk about that a little bit. Also, Jeremy did an interview with Cameron Pasha. I did a video on it where Cameron Pasha stated that Jon Favreau and George Lucas both hated The Last Jedi. Not a surprise at all. And I don't think it'll be surprising that we hear someday that somebody like Peter Davison, and by the way, I'm just speculating here, somebody like Peter Davison or Tom Baker or someone else comes out and says they hate this era of Doctor Who. Maybe when they're, a little older and they don't rely on conventions as much. And we've seen some people come out and speak their mind and then have to apologize immediately. God, working in entertainment must just suck. You can't speak your mind ever now. I mean, God, it's hard enough just on Twitter. Just as a regular Joe. So, I mean, a Doctor Who delay would kill the show, but I mean, we know how they do business in the BBC. I guess it doesn't need to make a lot of money, and it will continue. I know there's talk of it being going out to season 15, which I have no reason to doubt. They did that big deal with China, and that was a big licensing deal. There is something very interesting in that licensing deal, though. China has first right of refusal, and I'm very curious to see if certain Doctor Who episodes air in their entirety in China. I'm guessing no. I'm just guessing no. But thank you again, Blue Bonnet Hoovian, for tweeting that at me. And she got, by the way, hail Blue Bonnet Hoovian and Starry and Noel and Bowles Trek and, all of us people who are talking about Doctor Who. And, it's been debated. And I don't think it should be. Like, what was damaged more, Star Wars or Doctor Who? And it's absolutely Doctor Who. Doctor Who was Star Wars. At least you can say that Luke Skywalker is still Luke Skywalker, and you can cut it off at Return of the Jedi. They saw fit to go back and undo. William Hartnell is no longer the first Doctor. I hate saying that out loud. It still gets me to say that out loud, and the just complete balls of Chris Chibnall to do that. The sheer effing hubris of Chibnall to do that, and it just shows he might have been a fan at one time, but I doubt he's been a fan for a long, long time. No, and there's no way former showrunners could be happy with this decision. I still say that is a line drawn in the sand. And if you're okay with that, then, especially if you're a content creator, shill. I'm going to say you are definitely a shill. And I'm not sorry for saying so. I am not sorry for saying so. And yes, we will talk a little bit about Lord of the Rings. I've just heard things that are, it's just, God, why? Culture Casino, thank you for the phallic unicorn for $1.49. I appreciate that. Let's keep it phallic in here. Norwegian Kryptonian for 22 Danish krona says, Mike Zero is not dead. The rumors are not true. I hope not. The world needs Mike Zero, Norwegian Kryptonian. I hope he's very healthy and okay. Ian from Rebecca Gold for £2 said, thank God Doctor Who has been delayed. A blessing, absolutely a blessing. And I think there's a lot, I like to read between the lines. I think there's a lot more to it than, it's the social distancing rules. It's really, really difficult to film. So we're going to have to delay it and completely rewrite scripts so we can get a new Doctor and da-da-da-da. So, it sounds like they're using this, and first of many, folks. First of many. What we're going to be dealing with over the next couple of years is a contracted BBC, a contracted Hollywood, a contracted comic book industry. Gaming industry seems to be doing just fine, so I don't think that's going to be contracting. I think that'll be the one thing that's expanding. And what we do here is going to be expanding. But I just don't see scripted dramas, especially genre. Genre has had a good run, folks. Genre has been the toast of the town in Hollywood for going on 2 decades now. And that's one of the longest runs, outside of the Western. But, back in the day, they were able to streamline creating a Western where they created towns and they would just film them. And it was like an assembly, it was like a factory. They were just churning them out, cookie cutter stuff. You can't do that with genre. Now, Marvel's attempting that with the MCU. It's going to have disastrous results. And that plays into what we're going to talk about a little later with Superman, and how I talked about this on the High Council last night, but this is like DC's time. DC could actually snatch the pebble from Marvel's hand right now if they didn't have Jar Jar Abrams. But no, it's an absolute blessing, Ian. And I think that, I know there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it. Publicly, the BBC is absolutely happy with the message Doctor Who sends. Publicly, they couldn't be prouder of the message Doctor Who sends. Behind the scenes, they're not that happy. You still got to have people watching your show. What do they blame it on? Well, there's only so long. You can't blame it on the fans. They try, but you can't blame it on the fans. The talents of Wang Cheng for £1.99. Doctor Who tagline: she's back and it's still a crime. Yes. Hey, there's still a police on the box, though. There's still a police on the box. Stargate 404 for $2. Yes, I fell asleep last night. So There will be one probably a couple hours after the live stream. I have to go work out, which is pathetic how I work out now. Like doing push-ups on curbs and stuff. But yes, after that, there'll be thank you very much for the $2. There will be a member stream. Hail Gary, R.I.P. Doctor Who, says Keaton Smith. R.I.P. Doctor Who. And again, this show can't survive a delay. Everybody thinks HBO Max is this big savior. Well, right now, that streaming service is a hot mess. And I thought it would be an instant competitor to Disney Plus. I even thought it might possibly be a competitor to Netflix and Amazon Prime, and that's just not the case. It's just not the case. They had a lot of subscribers. They have more subscribers. HBO has more subscribers than Amazon Prime does, but that's for the cable HBO and HBO Go and HBO Now, and that's everything put together. Not HBO Max, and you have to physically change it over, and I'm guessing half the people won't do that. So I don't see it as this big savior. What I did hear is HBO Max has absolutely positively no creative say whatsoever in Doctor Who, and I don't think that surprises anyone. They're just streaming stuff. That's it. Keaton Smith, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. I do. And please, smash that like button. So I talked about a little bit on the High Council last night. If any of you are able to get out to Las Vegas this December, the 9th through 13th, we're going to be throwing a little shindig for the Fandom Menace. And anybody who's here, who's ever subscribed, if you can get out there, we'll provide, and you'll have to get a hotel room, but we'll provide the place to hang out. We'll provide food and entertainment, and it will cost you nothing. It will cost you nothing. So please keep that in mind. I will get, again, it's going to be the 9th through 13th of December. Of course, it depends on whether we get locked down or not. I'm suspecting we won't, but I could be wrong. Grandpappy Fisk, why are you reading You Brought Me an Ocean? Why are you doing this to yourself? How much pain and agony can one YouTuber take? Well, Grandpappy Fisk, a lot. Thank you for the $5 because I've been working on my Picard review today, and then I read a few pages, and I watched Zach's video, and he said it was good, and I think Zach's been on lockdown a little bit too long. I love your boy Zach. Yeah. Hail the chat and the mods and Gary. Thank you, Steve Carter, for £2, and hail to the Modrotics. Hail to the Modrotics. Which we need to talk to. We have a long overdue meeting. I was thinking about which direction I want to go. If I keep talking about Doctor Who, I'm going to spill all the rumors, and I can't do that. I got to save it for a video. I'm sorry. I truly am. I've talked about them in past live streams before. And it's not like they're earth-shattering or anything, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And the show is in trouble. I can tell you that. It is in trouble, and it's not just social distancing. There's other things going on within the BBC, with this show in particular. I know nothing about anything else, and I will repeat, my source is somebody I know. I knew them before I tubed. Can you say that? And it's not anything I ever asked for. They volunteered the information, and they've been spot on so far. JJ has connections to 2 ruined franchises under his belt already. Star Trek, Star Wars. Are you worried or open to him coming to the DCU? The Gray Ghost for $5. It will be terrible. Without question, it will be terrible. But I don't know. It seems to me there's a bit of a battle going on behind the scenes that Jar Jar is going to win, by the way, because they gave him $500 million. But I don't know if that was prior to AT&T, or I don't know if AT&T was part of that decision. I know it was before the actual merger happened. I don't know. I know that he doesn't want Henry Cavill as Superman. He wants to cast his own Superman, which is already getting off on the wrong foot with me. Warner Brothers, you have Henry's Cavill star is rising. He knew it was going to rise. This is why he wanted more money before. And you should have given it to him because he's going to ask for more now. The Witcher elevated this dude and being a Mission Impossible, and everybody likes him as Superman, and he can now pick his roles. Plus, let's also be real, with the limited amount of white males they will be casting and stuff over the next 2 years, he's pretty much it. So, him and maybe Tom Hardy, Christian Bale, you're going to have to be A-list. And I think he's A-list now. I think he is. I would say so. I think The Witcher brought him to the A-list, without a doubt. But Jar Jar wants to do his own thing. Jar Jar wants to be Kevin Feige. And yeah, the Jar Jar knows he took an L with Star Wars, and I'm sure it stings. And I think he wants to go out there and prove himself again and outdo Kevin Feige. I wish somebody would. I wish DC would kick Marvel's ass right now, and this is my resentment towards Disney as a whole. Maybe someday I'll sit through all the Marvel movies again and see them with some fresh eyes after stepping away. I mostly like most of them, but I think they got really homogenized towards the end. And I tell you right now, Endgame has not aged well with me. Endgame has not aged well with me. Un momento, por favor. Just making sure. Okay, we're good. But that's a video for another day. I want DC fans to have I want them to have a good Superman, a good Batman. I want them to have a cohesive universe that they can enjoy for 10 years. They deserve it. Listen, they're a little crazy. They're crazy loyal, and there's 2 camps now. But I think the Snyder fans want Snyder's work, and I don't know if they'll accept anybody else's. And Jar Jar couldn't be he's nothing like Zack Snyder. And I am not a fan of Jar Jar at all. I think he's done 2 pretty good movies. But he's treated like the next Spielberg, which is ridiculous. Which is utterly ridiculous. Look back at his TV shows. He had a mega hit TV show with Lost that had a controversial ending, let's just say. Alias fell apart. Everything else has fallen apart that he's directly involved in, and he wasn't directly involved with Lost later on. I don't like Super 8. On paper, 10 years ago, he probably sounded like a great choice for Superman, but he is the worst choice for Superman. Jar Jar is very much postmodern, very much in tune with what Hollywood is right now, which, we're still hearing Warner Brothers whinge about, I don't know if we can make a Superman movie. And that all comes down to the current environment in Hollywood. And if you think things were woke before, oh well. I don't think the result is going to change. And again, I talked about this on the High Council last night. I think we're going to get some pretty mega woke stuff here in the next couple of years. And I think the result will be the same. I think it'll fall flat at the box office, especially when they are subverting characters all the time. Again, you want to make new characters, make new stories all day long. Don't care. Quit switching out, swapping out established characters, even with the rumor of, which I guess is complete BS, that Kirk might be crap like that. But when we hear it, we believe it. We absolutely believe it. For Christ's sake, they want to remake Evil Dead again with another female lead. They've already done this, and they want to do it again. And they were heading down that road in Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3. I love the first 2 seasons of that show. It's so damn good. Gary, are you secretly Radagast? You arrive when you mean to, have a history with plants, and a change of hue. It sounds like you'll leave your home soon. Well, no, I'm Radagast. In the books, maybe. I love Sylvester McCoy's Radagast, I do, but the bird poop on the hat was a bit too much. Rob Slevin for $10. I arrived precisely when I mean to. No, I was setting things up. I was having a little trouble setting things up. I took that trip, and when I got back, I just went straight to work, making videos, and finally unpacked. I've got a new sound system. I got a new mic. I got a new camera. I decided to upgrade after I've been doing this podcasting thing, starting out as a hobby and now as a job, a job where I don't work a single day for since January 7th, officially 2014. Now I've been podcasting in conjunction with my comic shop since 2009. And it's only been the last couple of years where people even started watching. And I'm grateful for that. But that's what held me up. Thank you very much, Rob. Ulf Grimmer for 50 Czechoslovakian pesos. Hail, Gary. Stay safe out there in the Wild West. Oh, it's wild out here. It is wild. It's calming down. I don't know what's going on. I know that there's the Chaz in Seattle. Did you guys see Screen Time? Who would have thought that the first actual superhero to cross over from comic books into real life would be Screen Time? Yes, apparently there's a bunch of superheroes in the Chaz, and one of them looks exactly like Screen Time. I'll pull up the picture later. I didn't want to talk about it too much because the whole Chaz thing is getting ridiculous. Yeah, here in San Francisco, everything is still closed, so it's pretty mellow right now. Like I said, it's just sirens all night long and M80s being lit off. I mean, just huge firecrackers that sound like dynamite, just constantly being lit off. That's kind of normal here. When I first moved here, see, we got the 4th of July, Independence Day. I'm sure that won't be lit when that comes up. They used to pass out flyers in my neighborhood to stay inside because of raining bullets on the 4th of July. People would shoot their guns up in the air. Lord of the Rings is amazing. I'm on the second movie now. Butter Biscuit 92 for $2. It's the greatest film ever made, though, as a trilogy, as a whole. The extended versions, I love every nanosecond of it. And it's just like The Godfather with me. If it's on, I'm watching it. But we have a lot of problems with that coming up. There's some creative decisions that, for one, they aren't agreed on. They keep changing their mind. That's one of the problems, but it's most definitely going to be diverse. Most definitely. How diverse? Bard X86, welcome to the Geloja level. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and you will see a member stream a little later today. Show the people Karen Roddick, Nettled Nerds. Oh, God. Maybe in a little bit. Oh, my God, Nettled Nerds. Hang on. Okay, everybody's been getting like a female version of themselves with this FaceApp, and the problem is I have a beard, and it has to the AI has to figure out the bottom of my face, and it doesn't get it right at all. Here. We could do this first. That's supposed to be Jeremy. Is it this one? Yes. There's Jeremy right there. There's Jeremy. And we'll get to the next one. I mean, mine looks I look friggin' old. That's what I said. I said, oh, Christ, I look like I'm about to lecture you about the environment. Thank you, Nettled Nerds. All right, this is terrible. But they absolutely have my chin wrong. For one, I don't have like a double chin at all. So this is it's hideous. It's utterly hideous. So don't I look like I'm about to go to a Greta Thunberg lecture? And I don't shave my legs. And I live up in Eureka, California, on a commune. I graduated from women's studies. I'm a professor of women's studies. Yeah. No, my chin don't look like that. I don't know if I don't have any recent pictures without my beard. But that ain't it. That ain't it. Thanks, nettled nerds. I'll remember that. I'm just kidding. I got an email saying Dirty Harry movies will be next. Absolutely. Absolutely. They will come for the Dirty Harry movies. As a matter of fact, it's happening right now. 10 cats. 10 cats. Most definitely. Oh, Jesus. Oh. No, we were having some fun with that yesterday with the FaceApp. It was amusing. Miguel Batican for $5. Hey, Gary, hope you're doing well. I sent you an email at Gary Nerdrotic about my offer the other day. Take care, my friend, and Excelsior. I will take a look. I will most definitely take a look. I don't want to accidentally roll up my email like I did the other day on the live stream. Gary Walker, thank you for the phallic unicorn, $1.49. Captain Scarlet, $1.99. Current standard, they can do better than that. Doctor Who, I don't think Doctor Who can do much better than it's doing right now. They're going to have 2 less companions, so I don't know why they can't do 6 feet apart. And yeah, I don't know what the standard is in Wales. I don't know how things are in Wales. It sounds like they're trying to get the government to bend the knee and do it the same way they do in London, or they might end up moving out of there. That's what a lot of people have had to do. I just had a friend bail LA. He just he's able to do that. He doesn't have wife or kids, but he just dropped everything and just bailed. He got out of there. Diversity in Kirk and the TNG era compared to now. Welsh Wizard 1974 for £2. There was just as much diversity in the TNG era as there is now, save for 2 dudes kissing, but they had 2 women kiss in the TNG era. They've had, they've dealt with gender. They've dealt with all that stuff. They're not treading new ground. That's the problem. Disney, Star Wars, and Star Trek, and Marvel Comics, and Doctor Who are walking around like they're the first ones to do any of this stuff. Like before all of this, it was just a sea of white people before, which just isn't the case. And by the way, who was casting those people? We talked about this yesterday. Were you casting these people? Were you writing these stories? No. Was I writing these stories? No, we just paid our cheddar and watched what you gave us. And now we're like, hey, we're not against the alphabet community, but Kirk's not gay. Kirk's not gay. Oh, yes, Bear Me Too for $2. Yeah, I can show that. I can show Perry Chan's great work yesterday. Let's take a listen. I got to make sure my speakers are lined up. Oh, what's up, Abu Nas, man? Abu Nas. I just need to make sure that's all on and there it's hooked to the right properties. So you can hear the sound. Yes, it is. All right. Here we go. The great Perry Chan. The great Perry Chan. This guy, he's a genius. An absolute genius.
Naughty Dog absolutely made this worse because they poured gasoline on the fire. You created it, and then you poured gasoline on it and made it significantly worse.
Over.
It could have just died out. It could have went away.
By the way, I can't hear it.
But you started to attack people, silencing them, striking down their channel.
I have to plug in my headphones to hear it because it's coming through my mic. Again, the great Perry Chan. And we're going to take a look at the Filoniing part 1 and 2. Part 1 and 2. So here we go.
And as a game creator, I look around at kind of what we are making and what are going to be her role models from the stories. And I don't like what I see.
Fuck. On the fire. You created it, and then you poured gasoline on it and made it significantly worse. It could have just died out. It could have went away. But you started to attack people, silencing them, striking down their channels. Not good.
And as a game creator, I look around.
Not good. Perry, everybody give hey_songbird a follow. Perry Chan, the official 6th member of Friday Night Tights. He did our intro, and like I words cannot express my gratitude for this guy. I love him, man. It's freaking great. So we will I gotta look for the maybe I retweeted it. Did I retweet? I retweeted that. So you all saw the Filoniing. Well, we'll watch the Filoniing part 1 first. There we go. And then we'll watch part 2. Now, again, to reset, the Filoniing stems from an argument between Az and Jeremy. And by the way, they've since made up. And it was started, I believe, an Ichibaka article on Disney Star Wars is Dumb, put up a video about from 4 years ago where Dave Filoni strawmanned the Star Wars fandom. Doomcock did a video. Jeremy and Az got into it on Twitter, and it created I thought, a pretty decent debate afterwards. I thought there were some very good questions asked, and I think it proved, again, that we're not an echo chamber. But Perry, Perry does what he does. So here we go. This is part 1.
Rey, she impresses Han Solo. He's like the guy's guy, impresses him, impresses everybody in the audience. She goes up with Kylo Ren. She punks him right away. Like, he's supposed to be this great guy, wiped out all these people. I don't know. She took that lightsaber and was like, I'm going to take you out. And she did. And I'm all for it. And she looks strong.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, and yeah, this is going to get demonetized, but who cares? Let's go back. Oh, I just can't. That's such a great tweet. Oh, by the way, yeah, T. Louis 2. Here we go.
Dave Filoni, for over a decade, has given us good Star Wars. You're saying he gave you a product you enjoyed, but because he said something 4 years ago you don't like, you're walking away?
No, I'm saying he's part of the problem at Disney Star Wars. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Until this whole problem is resolved, until they understand that to actually retain customers, you've got to treat them with fucking respect, I'll step away.
If you care so much about
Filoni, I've got to get my
about
I'm watching Mandalorian. I watched my product.
God! Fucking Wolverine!
gets old. I've seen it like 20 times and I'm still laughing my ass off. And I love how you can still hear him arguing in the background. I mean, that is just a freaking nice touch. Perry Chan, ladies and gentlemen. Perry Chan. Perry Chan. Ha ha. You're going to be a star, kiddo. You're going to be a star. So weird. Ah. So yeah, as far as the Doctor Who rumor video, I guess that'll be my next one because I really do need to finish Picard. I want to be done within a week. And just to give you some inside baseball, the way I review a TV show is the way I review a movie. So, and if a movie is still in the theaters, you're just going to have to use your imagination. But I will get a copy here and I watch it very slowly and I take my little notes. But I don't write scripts. So I just react and I watch it. I watch a few minutes, react, watch a few minutes, react, watch a few minutes, react. And it works fine with movies. But with an 8 to 10 episode TV season, it gets long and brutal. And Picard is so bad. I still think it's worse than Discovery. I mean, Discovery, I don't take Discovery that seriously. It's bad, but I don't take it that seriously until they started messing with Spock. When you start messing with characters, and I'll repeat what I said yesterday. If you take the Kurtzman Trek and put it in a Kelvin timeline, I cease having a problem. It still sucks, but I cease having a problem. And I think that would go a long way. You want to heal fandom? Dude, that would do it immediately. And CBS wouldn't lose shit. They're not getting any licensing or merchandising. And I know that kind of goes into the Doomcock rumor from, I don't know if you watched his video, but Doomcock's got his sources. I have no idea who they are. And he said that there's a, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, because I only watched the video once, but he said there is a plan afoot to fix Star Wars. And this plan is going to be using something that they used in Star Wars Rebels. The veil, the place in between places. And they used this, I believe they used it in, I reviewed every episode of Rebels, by the way, and I was very hot and cold on it. I liked some episodes a lot, and I thoroughly disliked episodes, and there was identity politics were most definitely creeping into that show, and to deny it, you're crazy. But it wasn't bad. It didn't sideline it. And yes, Tom Baker voiced a character in Rebels. So there's the place between places, and I think it was Ezra was it Ezra and Ahsoka? Did it have something to do with that? I can't remember now. But basically, you can travel through time. So Doomcock's theory is that there is a plan afoot to use this to erase the Disney trilogy from canon and make it part of another timeline, just like the Kelvin timeline. Well, for one, that's how I see Disney Star Wars. I don't take it seriously. It doesn't count for me. That's why I can still probably go back and enjoy someday the original trilogy. It's going to be a while though, just because I'm so burnt on Star Wars and I don't care anymore. Do I actually think something like this could happen? Maybe in years, kind of like with Terminator. If you get the original creator to come back 20 years later, and he wants to, as one of the insiders put it, un-F the mess that is Star Wars, and it's George Lucas, and he's still alive, and he wants to do it with Disney's blessing, sure, it could happen. Anything's possible. Absolutely anything's possible. But I don't mean to be the Debbie Downer here. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer. I want to bring you hope. I do, and joy. But I don't want to lie to you, and I'm not going to give you false hope. So I listen, I don't know how good Doomcock's sources are, and he I guess it's a network of people. I have no reason to doubt him. And this could be a plan and maybe they're just spitballing stuff. I don't know. I absolutely don't know. I have no inside knowledge. I actually have a friend who works at Lucasfilm, and I never ask him about stuff because I don't want to. I just don't want to treat him that way. He probably could answer this question, but if he volunteered it, but he's never volunteered any information. So, and I just don't want to be that douchey. But, so do I think something like this will happen immediately? No, no. Just like, there being hope. I've heard Zvi Lebekin, talk about this, and he talked about how they might treat Doctor Who like the M&M Daleks and just forget about it. No. Star Trek, Doctor Who, and Star Wars are not retconning anytime soon. This is just my opinion. I have no actual information to back this up, so I'm not trying to contradict anybody, but this is just my opinion on the information I have right now, especially in this current political environment. So let's just play this tape all the way through. I would love it if they did it, by the way. I'd be ecstatic if they did this. Doesn't mean we'll get something better, but I would be happy if Disney said, okay, let's erase all that. Let's think about what your licensees think that you're still in a contract with, that are still producing stuff from this trilogy. And I know the excuse will be, well, it's a different timeline. Well, what? That's not how it was sold to the licensees. Okay. That's not how it was branded. It would, because things are so complicated with licensing and corporate, it would be impossible to erase it from canon. Damn near impossible. So I don't think it would be done anytime soon. I think it would be a nightmare. And I think the main reason Disney won't do this isn't the licensees or lawyers or anything else. It would be the backlash they got from 5 or 10 blue check marks on Twitter saying that they are bending the knee to the ists and phobes. What did we hear during the Rise of Skywalker? What was one of the first things we heard? You undid Rian Johnson's trilogy. You bent the knee to the ists and phobes. Which they were, they didn't succeed, but they were trying to, I genuinely think they were trying to they thought they were trying to make some people happy. Retconning Star Wars and making Luke a stepping stone is worse to me. Killing him and then making him a stepping stone for the stunning and brave Rey. But no, I don't think this will happen. Just like I don't think they'll turn Star Trek into the Kelvin universe, although I would love it. It would change my attitude completely. Would I love to see somebody from Lucasfilm or Kurtzman himself or somebody from Star Trek or somebody from Doctor Who to attempt to mend fences, to acknowledge that there's something going on? I mean, by the way, this will never happen, but I would love to see it. Sure. I would love for there to be some unity in fandom. William Shatner did something pretty cool yesterday. He retweeted Anna, that Star Wars girl. I had tweeted out that I'm doing the Vegas thing, and she said, hey, it looks like the Phantom Menace is going to Vegas. And William Shatner retweeted, hey, we should get all the Star Wars people out to Star Trek Las Vegas since Star Wars Celebration was canceled. And, I doubt William Shatner is aware of the nuance going on in the Star Wars fandom, but he was just trying to hey, let's get the Star Trek fans and the Star Wars fans to unite. And I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool as hell. Hail to the Shat. And I think it's a great idea. But this, yeah, I don't want to give you false hope, but again, that's just my opinion. These sources could be spot on, and I hope they are. I truly do. But I just don't see how that's possible logistically. It would be a nightmare. Yes, you can always use time travel to fix stuff, and that's what they used in Rebels. Now, Dave Filoni apparently is going to be taking over a few TV shows sometime in the future, 5-10 years from now. I don't know. And he will definitely Filoni. I mean, maybe he's getting ready to get in charge, and maybe we should be careful what we wish for. There was a time I'd have said, yeah, let's get Filoni in here. Over Kathleen Kennedy, he would still be better. But I still think politically, I know politically, they all are lockstep over there. They might have clashing egos over getting credit or a creative direction for Star Wars, but as far as the identity politics and stuff, that's not getting removed. They might do less of it, but it's not getting removed. And they still see us, they still vilify us. The BBC hates RIP Doctor Who. Hates it. Hates the hashtag. Hates everybody involved in it. And would never, ever, ever in a million years put an olive branch out to us. That's one thing I have been told. Without question, they just do not like us. The ones who know about us. Not everybody at the BBC knows about us. And I'm talking about on Twitter mainly. So yeah, that funeral was hilarious. Please, if you want to remain on Twitter, Piri Chan is a nice guy, and he's done some work, and I really appreciate him. I really do. Can't watch any TV in the UK without paying the license fee, even if you don't watch the BBC channels. SJ Almighty for £5. Is that true? I thought you could have a TV as long as it didn't have like an antenna on it and it wasn't plugged into to cable. You can watch streaming and YouTube through television. Correct me if I'm wrong. The whole thing is I'm probably going to mispronounce this again. Bollocks. Is it bollocks or bullocks? I always want to say bullocks, but I think it's bollocks. I'm an American. What can I say? It's especially now, especially the elderly. I'm glad they waived the fee for the elderly, but what about the kids who can't? What about the mom in a flat in a council house with 3 kids and you're charging her a license fee? Screw that. Or a dad. I got a couple of buddies who were council house kids. Those guys don't fuck around. They're both straight hairdressers. Straight hairdressers who will cut your hair and beat the shit out of you. All right, I don't need my headphones anymore. Thoughts on the Chaz? Funniest shit I've ever seen. Flubber 11 USA for $2. Yeah, I was deeply disturbed about it at first. I am because I have empathy for business owners out there who are getting completely screwed, and I was angered at the mayor for letting it go. But now, the longer it goes on, I think the powers that be letting it go, I think it really exposes a lot. I think let's let this thing go on as long as possible. And it gets utterly ridiculous. And I'll say it again. This is what happens when you cancel Burning Man. I don't like Burning Man. I don't like generally the type of person who goes to Burning Man. If you're out there, I don't mean to be offensive to anybody, but I'm not a hippie. But Burning Man serves a purpose. Burning Man gets all of the tech douchebags out of the Bay Area and a bunch of the artist hippies who live up in up north. Gives them something to do for a little while. And it's like that one weekend where the city is tolerable. So this is what happens when you cancel Burning Man. Diversity. Every new female Star Wars lead is a white brunette. British too, right? I don't know if they're all British. Yeah, well, Amelia Clark. What's her? I don't remember her name. Why am I forgetting her name? From Rogue One. And Daisy. Got a purple-haired misandrous, Twitter. Hashtag the Force is female. Hashtag Kevin Kennedy. Hashtag Karen Kennedy. Oh, I got some stuff to show you too. This is courtesy of Tom at Midnight's Edge. This is from last night. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, you want to see Red Letter Media? Red Letter Media. this thing's getting out of control. Doesn't what's his name look like was it Perry from Collider a little bit? Tiny bit there? But look at Mike. Mike looks like as a female. Oh my. Oh my. Hang on. We'll find some more. Yeah, this might disturb some of you. I just looked at the right-hand side of Twitter. It's like, does it ever frickin' stop? Okay, here we go. Oh, this one's great. Rose Tico. I bet you Ethan's a little conflicted about that one. I'm sure. These are great. These are awesome. Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley. This is all from the FaceApp, by the way, obviously. Now, Adam, I mean, for one, she makes like a perfect dude. That straight up looks like Tom Cruise's little brother, doesn't it? Okay, that's I think I knew a tweaker who looked like that back in the day. There's Alex Kurtzman, Jar Jar Abrams, and Leslie Headland, who looks like my brother-in-law, JT. look at Rianne Johnson. Oh. Look at how sad George looks. All the time he looks like that, right? I mean, that's his resting face. He just looks like a grieving parent, doesn't he? All the time. And we know Jeremy Prime is suspended. Oh, here's Tom, by the way. Yeah, Tom looks like yeah, I won't say what she looks like. I'll hold that one back. Oh. There you go. Jack Beers, yes, they made him. Well, I don't know. Are you gay if you like an android? I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know the answer to that question. Flubber 11 USA, yeah, the Chaz is hilarious. And again, there's superheroes there. There are kids who are dressed up as superheroes, and one of them looks like Screen Time. Let's see if I can find that. No, not yet. I'll keep looking, though. I'll keep looking. The Gray Ghost for $5. Thank you again for the $5. Battle Him 63 for $2. You have to see G&G's latest video intro. Rolling on the floor. Is it a new one? I'll look at it later. Maybe we'll check it out in a little bit. But it's probably from Perry, right? So yeah, Perry's the man. Scottish Nerd for £1.49. Thank you for the phallic unicorn. Was it one of the ones I already showed? Battle Him, because you sent that before that. That was probably one of the ones. Thank you for the phallic unicorn. Matthew Gerwig for 5 Canadian pesos. Why hasn't the third season of STD come out yet? Lockdown would seem like a good time, no? I agree. I think they would have a captive audience that this would be their best chance pretty much ever to be successful, because by the time they release the show, they'll have competition. But that's how dumb CBS is. But let's please consider that for the second half of Picard, was it the second half of Picard? No, I was thinking of Westworld. I don't think we were locked down by the time Picard ended. So, yeah, I think they would have a captive audience, and I don't think it would help. Nobody, I will give you the numbers, what I've heard of what the initial viewings of Star Trek Discovery episodes were. This isn't over time, over a month. We're talking about within 7 days. Star Trek Discovery episodes were getting 200, 250,000, maybe 300,000 views on their streaming service. Now, they got a lot of views at first, and they did air the first episode on CBS, and it got 8 million views. 8 million people watched it. And they were idiots for not putting it on the network. It would have done better on the network, just naturally. I mean, look at the trash that people watch now. Missing the live stream, but wanted to drop in and let you know that you are appreciated. Eric Steller, thank you for the $20. Thanks. You can always watch it on Nerdrotic Live later, but I know you like to participate. Tesseract says, hey, Gary, just got home from work. How are things? Things are, well, I'm good in my world. We're dealing with some changes, but we're all healthy. Okay. Mom is healthy. Both my moms are healthy. One of my sisters is healthy. I don't know about the other one. Mel's parents are doing good. The kids are doing good. My kid's getting some school done. I'm grateful for that. That was also why I was a little late. He's got an online course he's doing. So yeah, I mean, like dealing with it like you guys are. But thanks to you guys, I can, our bills are getting paid, and there's other things going on, but doing well. I hope you guys are doing well. And listen, throughout all this craziness, we still have each other, and I'm grateful for you guys, because man, I'd be insane without you. And Mrs. Nerdrotic thanks you too. They need to do the argument from Midnight Run. Oh, Crispy Critters for $2. I love Midnight Run. I freaking love that movie. I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. JPRPH1 says, and he's talking about the picture of me, which is awful, by the way. That's not a double chin. Those are chin balls. Those are chin balls. Yes, they are. Drunk 3PO for $9.99. Oh, dude, come on. I can't thank you enough for the support last night. It means a lot. I love this community. I'll see you all in Vegas. Yes. Add Meet Drunk 3PO to the flyer. Much love. We will. No, I'm going to make like a Coachella flyer poster for this. So it looks like everybody's going to be there, and I am going to try to see, let's ask Mahler if he wants to come out. I know he's a parent. I don't know if he can just jump out and do stuff. Get Az for sure. Get Az for sure. The key to this is zero crowdfunding, folks. So this is for you. This is for you, for other people, just so we can hang out and have a good time, because we've all been cooped up, and let's go have some fun. That's all it is. So I'm going to try to rent out a hall or a bar or something where we can do live streams in front of a live studio audience, and you guys can come in and join, where we feed you, where we hang out. We can go enjoy the convention. I'm probably only going to go to Star Trek Las Vegas for one day and then run around Vegas. So if you can get there, and there are some really cheap prices for hotel, but I know flights are a little crazy, and I know not everybody's in a position to do that. We will live stream the event for you, but if you can get there and get yourself a hotel room, it is free to get in. Okay, it will be free entertainment, and then that's us thanking you. And this is something Jeremy and I cooked up for Star Wars Celebration, but it got canceled, so we're gonna just move it to that. The tipping point where SJWs are exposed as intolerant bullies is coming. It's been happening, Elton John. But they are, I hate to use these terms, but they are the bullies, they are the harassers, and they are fascists, and they have people in fear to speak up right now. If you say one thing out of line, they're going to come and cancel you on Twitter or come after your channel or come after your wife's business. Oh yeah, that shit is coming. And we need to be ready. We all need to be ready for the battle that we're going to have over the next couple of years, because it's going to be rough. It's going to be crazy. We're going to get all those accusations that we were kind of shedding over a while, because people were not shedding, but shedding. I think a lot of people were actually tuning into our channels and seeing that we're not actual ists and phobes. Well, all that crap is going to start up again. The access media is a bunch of disingenuous a-holes. The articles are already starting to be written. Believe me, they got nothing else to write about. It's only a matter of time until they pick one of us or all of us, and that means you in the chat, and they will try to silence us. It will absolutely happen. What channel? I don't know. What time? I don't know. What event? The only thing we have on our side is they're friggin' lazy. But they can take one thing out of context. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And we absolutely do not bend the knee. We do not apologize. And when I say we never apologize, I don't actually mean never apologize. If you genuinely wronged somebody, absolutely apologize, okay? But when it comes to the media and false accusations, you don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to say, I've got black friends, I've got gay friends. Because they already have us on our back feet. It's kind of like the art of war. You have your opponent never, I don't know what the exact wording is, but you don't let your opponent have any ground to stand on, have them backpedaling all the time. And that's what they're doing. And it's just constant. And we just got to say, fuck it, enough. No. And honestly, I don't care what people call me. Never have. I can't say never, but not in my recent history, not in the last 20 years. I probably cared when I was like 6. Okay. But no, and we got to stick together on this as much as we can, with like Twitter drama. I don't know what's going on Twitter. I never know. I know there's always stuff going on behind the scenes. I know there's private chats and there's groups of people, and one group might be mad at another group. I don't know any details. I hear whisperings of stuff. I generally stay out of it. It's none of my business. But for the most part, we need to stick together, and we've done that. I think we've done a great job sticking together, and that means reaching out to the other channels. What Drunk 3PO is really good at is reaching out to the up and coming channels and keeping them visible to us. When I get busy, we all get busy. Jeremy gets busy, but I absolutely need to make sure to bring up and coming channels once in a while. Do I have to? No, of course not. But I feel like I need to. I try to do it as much as I can. And through our numbers, we can bring that change back, which is not swinging the pendulum all the way over, but we want to get it back in the middle. I mean, we could talk about anything else later, but let's just work on getting it to the middle. And it feels like I don't mean to discourage anybody, but we lost some ground over the last couple of weeks, and we need to be real about that. But it doesn't mean we give up at all. No, double, triple our efforts, because that shit is coming. Pinion, thank you very much for the $2 Canadian. Says still around, support, and keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you, SJ Almighty, for the $5. Getting caught up here. It jumped on me. Ginger Hosley for $5. I saw a 3D printer on sale at the craft store and told my friends, hey, I can make even more bootleg 12 merch, which has been my job since 2014 anyway. Yes, absolutely. Oh God, if I had the means, Ginger, I would make action figures all day long. 1/6 scale action figures. I know a lot of the artists who work on Hot Toys and stuff. They do that as a side gig. All day long. I want a legit. I know it's God. I hate this. The SJWs have kind of co-opted this movie, but I don't care. I freaking love The Fifth Element. I love everything about The Fifth Element. I want a legit 1/6 scale Lilu and Corbin Dallas. Ada McGurr for £5. I recently watched the only canon season 12 of Doctor Who, and it was pretty good. Didn't expect Genesis of the Daleks to be as great as it was. Watched the only canon season 12. It took me a second to, like, the real season 12. Dude, Genesis of the Daleks is the shit. And it shows how far ahead writing was in the UK. I mean, you think about the time for television. Television writing in the UK has always been light years ahead of the United States, like without a doubt. But they got into, aside from Star Trek, Star Trek writing was, and Twilight Zone, which is simply the greatest written show ever, is the original Twilight Zone. But goddamn, that makes me want to watch it right now, Aiden, right now. Christina Nardone for $5. Hail there, Gary. Did you hear that Aunt Jemima has been canceled on Twitter by the outrage bomb? Another one bites the dust. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to stand up and recognize today racism has been canceled. Racism has been cured because Aunt Jemima has been removed from a syrup bottle. Stunning, brave, beautiful. It's an amazing day, ladies and gentlemen. Racism is in the rear view mirror. It'll no longer happen because we removed a cartoon or a character from a syrup bottle. And as soon as we move the word police from police box, there will be no more police brutality either. True story. True story. Frickin' ridiculous. Hail there, Gary. I read that one. Alpha Omega Records for £20. I lament the days BBC Wales was run by Russell, Julie, and Phil. Oh, whoops, I just knocked that over. This Phil, I have my, these are actual props from the Runaway Bride when they went to the ATM machine. Yeah, oh yeah. My Dr. Pounds. Phil hates current Who. He told me over a date he's working with RTD at the moment. I wonder if the man, woman, or animal troll had his input. Alpha Omega Records. Oh, we need to talk. We definitely need to talk. So what I have heard from my sources, that was most definitely 100% a troll. I like the term that Az used from heel versus babyface. It was meant to take the piss out of it, to dilute it, to make it as stupid as it was. So, take that with a grain of salt, folks. That is from, again, my source. I absolutely, and I believe it. I believe it. Crazy Cat Guy, thank you for the ice cream for $1.49. I appreciate it. Larry, thank you for the phallic unicorn for $1.49. And best time is now. Thank you for joining at the Gandalf level. I appreciate you. I was gonna look into something, and now I'm brain farting on it. Oh, I wanted to go look at the Aunt Jemima thing. Right. Bounding into Comics probably has an article on that, right? Oh. All right, I got to see where the rumor's coming from. I'm fucking so sick of this shit. Nope, that's not it. New rumor hints the MCU may introduce a gay Wolverine. Now, every time you approach this subject, they automatically, this is how they use the community as a shield. And I'm talking about the straight people and the people within the alphabet community who will use this for political power, or use this to deflect criticism. I can criticize whatever the hell I want, and it doesn't mean I hate gay people. I do not hate gay people. I am a strong supporter of the alphabet community. I have, and you know how I know that? Through the actions, through my actions in life. Hiring people, employing people right now, going into business partnerships. And again, they set up the situation where I have to sit there and explain stuff, which I don't need to do. I don't need to fucking do. I don't need to play by those fucking rules, and I refuse to. And Wolverine is not gay. Go ahead, introduce a gay Wolverine and watch your movie crash, and then you can call everybody homophobes. This is just a constant subversion. Now, I don't know where this rumor comes from. Okay, this is bounding into comics, and if I see we got this covered, I'm going to go, yeah, probably not true. Off the heels of the new rumor that the Marvel Studios was looking to bring Hercules into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, who I thought would be gay. I mean, like, if you're going to make one gay, you make Hercules gay. I mean, it's Greek. Yeah, come on. Another rumor details that they may introduce a gay Wolverine. Now, I create a new character. Scooper Dan Reichman teased Marvel Studios might introduce a gay Wolverine into the MCU, and he shared a panel from Extreme X-Men. Drink it in, folks. Is that from Extreme X-Men or Ultimate X-Men? He went on to indicate it would be coming to the MCU. MCU. So, I don't know who this dude is. Hang on, I'm going to check it out. So he is a Twitter influencer. No, I'm sorry. He is a self-labeled Twitter influencer. Newsflash. Newsflash. You label yourself an influencer, you're a douchebag. Absolute 100% douchebag. Don't label yourself an influencer. Got 85,000 people on Twitter. Looks like he's learned to monetize. He's got a little Patreon right there, too. This version of Wolverine from Extreme X-Men is an alternate universe Wolverine named James Howlett. He's the Governor General of the Dominion of Canada and Viceroy of Her Majesty's expedition to Shangri-La, and hails from Earth 12025. And he looks like, yeah, he's got a handlebar mustache and yeah, whatever. The version of the character has an adamantium skeleton, and as well as claws. The metal was gifted to him by Hercules and bonded to him. The pair went for a number of adventures together, and I'm sure there was a lot of adventures through the back door. They begin a romantic relationship and have to keep it secret because of the prejudices from both the Canadian hierarchy and the court of Zeus. Okay, Greek gods being prejudiced about the alphabet. Oh my freaking God! Are you kidding me? The Greeks invented it. They practically invented it. The Greek god eventually finds out and banishes the couple to Tartarus. For the next 4 years, they battle against the damn souls, and they battle each other's. This Howlett eventually joins the group of multi-dimensional X-Men hunting down an alternate version of Xavier with evil goals. The roster does include Hercules at some point, reuniting the lovers, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige has made it clear the studio will be introducing the LGBTQ plus characters in their upcoming films and shows. Feige confirmed in August 2019 that the upcoming Eternals film would feature a gay character. Feige said he's married, he's got a family, and that's just who he is. Okay, great. In December, he seemingly indicated that there would be he'd be introducing a transgender character. Feige was asked, are there any current plans to bring in more LGBTQ characters? Of course, he's going to say yes. However, a report from Variety indicated that Feige misspoke when he made those comments and said that it was only referring to the first part of the question regarding the LGBTQ characters. What about this rumor? All right, so this rumor was started by this dude. I don't know how well connected he is. Honestly, I've never heard him. So it says, task old nerdy bastard Black Lives Matter. And then it says MCU. So he put a picture in the MCU. But is he indicated that he wants it in the MCU? I mean, I don't know. Would I be surprised? No. As a matter of fact, I joked about it last night that we're going to get a Daniel Radcliffe gay Wolverine. Just go ahead and make everybody gay. And you know what? DC, this is your time. Get rid of Jar Jar Abrams. Look at me. Get rid of Jar Jar Abrams. Hire somebody competent who knows about the comics, who's not Jeff Johns, because you know what? He just doesn't work in Hollywood. He should go write comics. And make superhero movies. You know what? If you need swap some characters here and there, I don't care. But you keep your main characters, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. You keep them fundamentally the same. You don't change them at all. And you just make fun movies for everyone. And you know what? There doesn't have to be a lot of romantic relationships because it's a superhero movie. You know what? Aquaman. The reason I walked out of Aquaman, having enjoyed it, is I wasn't preached at once. Not once. It was a messy, crazy movie, but it was fun enough for me. Shazam had a little bit, but it kind of worked in the movie. I didn't have a problem with it. Shazam, I know people think it's trash. My kid liked it. I had fun watching it. It's not gonna win any awards or anything. But I certainly thought they were going in a direction just by not being political. I'm not that hard to please. I'm really not. Again, I love Bright, the David Ayer movie, the Netflix movie with Will Smith. I freaking love that movie. I obsess about that movie. I know it's not very good, but I like it. Okay, what was I going to go check out? Aunt Jemima. Before I saw that. Oh, that's disappointing. Yeah, a CW actress has said that white privilege comes from generations of erasure and genocide. So yeah, I'm not finding any articles on it. Yeah, they erased some syrup. We'll talk about John Favreau in a minute here, because I think that is interesting. I've watched UK terrestrial TV a dozen times in 3 years. Says randomized for £1.99. Yeah, then don't pay for it. My God, don't pay for it. The tipping point where SJWs are exposed as intolerant bullies is coming. I think, again, and I know I read that before, again, I think it's here. By the way, Drunk 3PO, go check out his channel. He's one of the, well, okay, he's not very nice on Twitter, but in real life, he's one of the nicest guys around. He does a lot of work with helping kids in other countries. He's a good soul. He just hit 10,000 subs, so congrats, my friend. I remember when you were all excited when you hit 4,000, and it seems like just yesterday, so onward and upward. I thought, Drunk 3PO, correct me if I'm wrong, weren't we all supposed to be done? Wasn't it all over for us after The Rise of Skywalker? I seem to remember somebody saying that. I can't remember who it was. But yeah. I seem to remember somebody saying we were all over with after The Rise of Skywalker. Shit, this stuff is just beginning. Okay, we are just getting started. We got the MCU coming. We still got Star Wars. We still got Doctor Who and Star Trek. And we've got Hollywood in general after this last 2 weeks. We have only just begun. Elton Jong for £5. Thank you again. Yes, Cesario JPN. Hashtag defund the BBC. Hashtag feck the BBC. Hashtag defund Hollywood. Captain Spire for $2. You get our money because of good customer service. Oh, thank you, Captain Spire. I try to do my best. And hopefully I've earned it. I've earned your subscription. Again, thank you very much. We are creeping towards 250,000 subs, and that is unbelievable. Spill the rumors. We'll watch the video as well. Keaton Smith for £1.99. Well, I kind of did already. I spilled a little bit of it. So, okay, folks, Doctor Who is getting delayed. It's absolutely getting delayed, without a doubt. It will not have a full season. Now, keep in mind what I just said. There will be no full season of Doctor Who until 2022. Now, there could be a split season, and and the deal is to give Jodie some extra numbering. They're going to call it two different seasons that will be shortened. They won't do 0.5 or anything. They'll do season 13, 14, and they'll be shortened. It is most definitely delayed. The beer bug had a lot to do with it, but not everything. Not everything. So there, I spilled some. Malik Muhammad for $2. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Tim Adams for $5. Hail from Redlands, California. Just finished The Lord of the Rings with friends. Any word on this beloved series, movies or shows on the horizon? P.S. We love you down here. Hail, Redlands, California. Tim Adams. Yes. So, Lord of the Rings, folks. They're filming a pilot. They still don't entirely know what direction they're going in. They're rewriting season 1. They did get rid of some writers. They brought some new ones in. Season 2 is written. It's going to take place in the Second Age, and it might have something to do with the destruction of Numenor. And the lead actor is a 22-year-old Welsh actress who was in His Dark Materials. I don't know her name. She will play a young Galadriel. Yes, Galadriel will be the lead in Lord of the Rings. Don't necessarily have a problem with it. I was kind of hoping it would be a Game of Thrones situation where we didn't have a lead, because it certainly looks like there is a possibility, and I mean possibility, that Lord of the Rings could be female-centric. Yeah. So I'm holding out hope that it turns out to be a Game of Thrones situation. I mean, who was the lead of Game of Thrones? Who was the lead actor? I think there's an argument that can be made. It was either Lena Headey or oh my God, why am I blanking on freaking Tyrion's name right now? Oh my God, I hate brain. God damn it. Peter Dinklage. What the hell? How did I see? This is old age. Argument could be made. It was Peter Dinklage or Lena Headley. Headley, is that how you say your last name? There was no real star. Emilia Clarke could have been the star. That's how they should set up Lord of the Rings. Don't make it a centric show. There is no lead. You could have like 4 or 5 leads, tell a bunch of different stories. Because I like Galadriel and all, but I don't watch Lord of the Rings to watch elves sit around and talk. I know she's got powers and stuff too, but we watch Lord of the Rings for the battles, for the epic battles against the orcs and the beautiful scenery and like being immersed in that world. Yeah, but we see it for the kick-ass battles, and traditional storytelling and the traditional storytelling of Tolkien. I mean, it's supposed to be mythology. And by the way, it's going to be very, very diverse. I'm not surprised by that. And it could certainly work, but possible changes to the Men of the West, maybe? How do you feel about that? Hail, Gary. Can't wait for your Picard video and your Who rumor spoilers. Also, how do I access the members chat? Is there a separate link? Yes, Sarah B for $5. Pay attention to the community section on my channel, and I will put a link in the community section, and it's the members only link. What we do is we just do a StreamYard, and it's an AMA. You guys can ask me anything, and we rotate people in. Adam Wolfer for $2. We all know Gary is Gandalf or one of the blue wizards. Yeah, I'm probably one of the flaky blue wizards. We didn't hear much about. One of them could have been a turncoat, by the way. You know that, right? Private Halo 117 for $24.99. It's theorized. I don't know if it's fact. Hey, Gary, you asked me about my auto... Okay, so Private Halo 117 for $24.99. Hey, Gary, you asked me about my autographing business. I am contracted to 7 comic book stores, and I cannot breach the contract right now. If they start to go under, I'm going to renegotiate, just letting you know. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, so if you got a non-compete, I got you. No worries. I understand. Business is business. JPRPH1 for $1.99. That's not a double chin. Those are chin balls. And I read that one. Crispy Critters. And I've read that one. Thank you, Chris. How's it going? Asked JC for $5. It goes well. How's it going with you guys? Still going well? Hope things are well. Hell, Gary, would you shout out Trade A Tape Comic Center in Lincoln, New England? Is it Lincoln, Nebraska? Lincoln, Nebraska. They have the best back issue selection in the area, and they've stayed open with sensible precautions during the beer bug. And this is Nebraska for Jay Treese. Yes, absolutely. Let's do it right now. Do they have an online store? Jay Treese for $10. Whoops. There we go. It's kind of off center there. I don't know if I can get that better. Let's go to their... They have a Facebook page. There we go. Is this it? Okay, so it's Tape A Comics. It's 145 South 9th Street, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508. The phone number is 402-435-6063. They're open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Local Nebraska time zone. And yeah, there's their little shop right there. It looks awesome. If I ever go through Nebraska, I will most definitely check it out for sure. There you go, buddy. Southeastern Kaiju for $5, chipping in to the Nerdrotic Relocation Fund. Hail, Gary. Load up the fam and move away from there. We are. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. It's going to be it's going to be very, very soon. Very, very soon. Now, it's going to be a 2-part process to get out of California. We can't just jump out and leave. We do have obligations. We don't know what's going on with the salon still, but we'll know July 13th. That's when Mayor London Breed said she would make an announcement for salons, and we'll know. My wife's salon has run out of PPP money. Can't pay our employees. Again, this was a very busy salon that had savings, okay? Which still does, by the way, but we need to be responsible. We don't know what's going on. And nobody, our city's been terrible, utterly terrible. They've just sat back and done nothing. Absolutely nothing. And you know what? I mean, people ask me constantly, how can you live in San Francisco? And I would say, you know what? The politics don't really directly affect me personally. You can't get a vape here, okay? You can go out and protest. You can go out and protest all day long. You can get pot. You can get booze. You can get cigarettes. You cannot buy a vape here. But also, nobody gets prosecuted if they go into your store and steal under $900 worth of stuff, you're not going to get prosecuted. So, yes, we can leave. And we've been tied into the business, my wife's business, but they have now seen fit to get rid of that, and there's no reason to be here anymore. But we're going to move probably one place first and then move from there to another place, and I'll let you know. Thank you very much, Southeastern Kaiju. Zach Lossell for $4.99. Hail, Gary. Much love to you. Here in San Mateo, if you ever need anything, let me know. Praying they're able to fix Star Wars. Here are some shekels. Zach Lossell, hey, hail in San Mateo, by the way. Thank you very much. Yeah, you have to drive. I mean, there's the city next door, which is like a mile away. You can go get a vape. But yeah, you can't, if you order it online, they won't send it to San Francisco. It's crazy. It's fucking ridiculous. And not like I'm Mr. Go Vape or anything like that, but it's just ridiculous that you can smoke pot and not vape. What's the freaking difference? I know one gets you really high. I understand that, but, it's not like either of them are good for you, But go ahead, 420 all you want. It's fine with me. Star Wars Episode 10, A False Hope, says Kent Barnes for $2. Yeah, someday will they fix Star Wars? Sure. Is it in my lifetime? Not so sure. Is it within the next 5 years? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You got to look at it logically. They have announced the female-centric Leslie Headland show. We've got the book and comic book, Let's Get High Republic. An Obi-Wan show supposedly still coming out. You got The Mandalorian now. You have supposedly a Rian Johnson trilogy. You got a Taika Waititi movie. When are they gonna retcon the original trilogy? I mean, it sounds like wishful thinking to me. But wait, we're in echo chamber. I forgot we're in echo chamber. My bad. Elton John, STP, Star Trek Picard, can be explained as Scrooge-type flash forward by Q. This is what will happen if you attend Wesley's seminar on women's studies. Elton John for £5. That's good. That's good. That's good. Catastrophe for $2. How dare you? JJ and Rian are national treasures. They are. They really are. Of suck. Rumors said Cavill a no-no for soups. Really? Come on. Nando soups for $2. No, he's in negotiations to star in some stuff, but as far as Jar Jar Abrams it's not possible. He's doing a Superman movie. He's going to be running the DCEU, and he wants to bring in his own Superman because Jar Jar thinks all of his ideas are best, and he's going to bring in a beta Superman. Straight up. Henry Cavill is too alpha for what they want. They're going to bring in a younger, skinnier Superman. It's going to, Hollywood's going to do itself in if it continues this direction. Nothing lasts forever. Vince Hickey for $30.99 Australian. Please ask Perry Chan to use a clip of John Pertwee saying, "Show me your tits," and make it so that a full-size third Doctor says, "Show me your tits," to a full-size 13th Doctor, not just their heads. Wow. Vince, that's very specific and demanding. I want full-size, not just heads. I don't know if Perry can do that, Vince, but I'll ask him. I think it's a great idea. I think it's actually a great idea. Show us your tits. I'm going to put that clip on the regular on Friday Night Tights. Thank you, Vince Hickey. Hail, brother. The Motley 1969 for $20. Too funny, right? And that's the stuff we were looking at earlier. Life Sucks for £2. It's just temporary. Everything's temporary is one of my favorite sayings. This too shall pass. Can be related to a lot of things. Life, the bathroom, relationships. Do you know any good Doctor Who fan-made shows? No. Life Sucks. I do not. I'm sure they exist, but I am not aware of them. I'm not really in fan film stuff. Watching an actual dumpster fire is better than STD, says Cancel Venom for 2 Canadian pesos. You are correct. It's way more. No. Maybe you'll see the Lord of Light. Maybe Red Rollor will show you the Morrow and the Flames if you watch it long enough. Stephen Thomas, welcome to the Proto-Molecule level. Hail. Cultural Casino. I'll be in Vegas too. Aren't you always in Vegas? Cultural Casino for $2? I thought you're already there. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be going to Vegas before that. Vegas is open right now, and it's calling. I hear it calling. Hi from Ireland, having a whiskey for my nerd fam. Mr. Bobby Dallow for $4.99. Have some for me. I can't have any, but you can have mine. Okay, thank you. Life Sucks. Donates another $1. Peppermint, thank you very much, Life Sucks, and you know life doesn't suck. Peppermint oil capsule for £2. Hi, I'm not on Twitter. How is Starry-Eyed Girl now? Well, I spoke with her last Sunday on a live stream. And, we just spoke publicly, I not too much before and after, and she seems like she's doing just great. And listen, Twitter is fine as a hobby once in a while to check in at work, kill some time. But let me give you some unsolicited YouTube 101 advice. You want to have a Twitter account and a following for notifications and share your stuff, but it really doesn't help your channel on this platform at all. Like at all. What it does do is distract you from your channel. So people get excited and they go on Twitter and it's great to have a lot of followers and stuff. But if you want to look at pragmatically, if YouTube is your job, and just because people get a little triggered by that, it's how I make my living, just like it's how Ben Shapiro makes his living, or Steven Crowder, or the Young Turks, or Howard Stern used to be, any other person who commentates to entertain. I still love it. It is still genuine. And you guys will, by the way, I don't think you're stupid. You'll know when hopefully I'll never be not genuine, but you guys would figure out in a second, okay? When somebody sells out, when they're not genuine, you guys know. But if it's your primary source of income and you want it to, even as a hobby, be a large portion of your income, and there's nothing wrong with making a little cheddar. I don't feel bad for it at all. And I thank you. I'm grateful for it. I'm absolutely grateful for it. Don't waste your time on Twitter. Twitter just wastes your time when you could be working on your channel or spending time with your friends or doing whatever. Does it put anything positive in the world? Absolutely not. You can't even have a real argument. So yeah, I'm going to use it for notifications, but that's it. That's it. I'll talk to people once in a while, and look for articles, but I generally don't I never have really got into slinging the mud. So I know Starry went through something on Twitter. I don't know what. I know one guy was Starry Eye Girl's well, I don't know if she doesn't come to the channel anymore. I haven't seen her. So I know she's back on YouTube, but she doesn't come here anymore. I don't know if it's something I did or what. I don't know. But she got into it with somebody on Twitter, a troll who's, who hates us, anybody who's against Jodie Whittaker. But I'm blocked by the dude. I've always been blocked by the dude. So I didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know what he was saying. And I don't spend a bunch of time on Twitter. But Starry Eye, she chose to get off at the perfect time. And now she's free. Suggestion, binge Hannibal on Netflix. You're welcome. Also, plug Bedrock City Comics in Houston, Texas. I found my plush Ain from Cowboy Bebop. P.S. Binge Cowboy Bebop. You're welcome. Now, I'll binge Cowboy Bebop. I haven't seen that. I've seen Hannibal. Hannibal's good. Hannibal's good. Bedrock City Comics. Let's go check it out in Houston, Texas. So, yeah. So back to the Starry Eye Girl. She's a mod. She used to come to the channel. I don't think she's really on YouTube that much anymore, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Something happened on Twitter. Not aware, other than there was a guy going after her relentlessly, and he's a kid, by the way. So that's why that's tough. You want to defend Starry, but I couldn't see what to defend. I was blocked, and it's a kid. So, she did the right thing by getting off. And people come after me all the time. And if somebody's really coming after you and it does bother you, just, block or mute. I don't block or mute anybody, but use it or get off Twitter. If it's making you miserable, get off by all means. Let's see. Bedrock City Comics. There we go. Okay. Bedrock City Comics. I love the Fleischer Superman there. Hell yeah. I like this place. Bedrock City Comics is located at, where's your address there, guys? There's the original Daredevil. Oh, yeah. Angelin. There you go. They are, where's your address, fellas? I miss it. 6516 Westminster, Suite D, Houston, Texas, 77057, USA, 713-780-0675, and it's bedrockcity.com. Go check them out today. I like these shouting out comic book shops. That's pretty good. I enjoy it. Crazy Cat Guy, thank you for the $5. You don't have anything to say? Usually you have something to say, my friend. A little surprised about that. Admin Grumpy Bear for $20. Random, whatever happened with Anas and his lawsuit? Well, I honestly haven't thought about it since my last video. It's still in the appeal phase, and my guess is everything was pushed back because of the beer bug. But I will check in. That's a good question. Thank you. Anas Abdeen is currently suing Alex Kurtzman, CBS, Netflix, Star Trek Discovery for the theft of his game called Tardigrades. And I've done 20 videos on the subject. Other people have done videos on the subject. You can go follow him on Twitter. In his video game, he had a giant blue tardigrade that could travel instantaneously in time and space. And guess what? Star Trek Discovery Season 1 had a giant blue tardigrade that can travel instantaneously, that helps the Discovery travel instantaneously in time and space. But the tardigrade could travel instantaneously in time and space itself, too. It's almost like Alex Kurtzman lifted it from his video game, because that's exactly what I think happened. It's my opinion, but I think Alex Kurtzman is a thief. The Motley 1969 for $20. Thank you for the Motley 1969. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you all. Taker 610 for $5. Thoughts on book 7 and 8 of The Expanse. I have now read up to 6, but I'm not sure about the time jump and general direction of the series. 7 and 8 worth it. Well, Taker 610, I'm going to try to say this without spoiling anything. Yes, there is a time jump in The Expanse. It will not be able to work in the TV show, so I don't think they'll do it in the TV show. I hated the 6th book. I hated the decision. I did not like the 7th book very much. It started getting woke and filled with intersectional feminism. Book 8 still has some intersectional feminism, but it has more fleshed out characters, and it actually does something. I think book 6 and 7 were giant wastes of time. Giant waste of time. And that sucks, because the first 5 books are excellent. Excellent books. I'll say book 3 is okay. It's pretty good. Book 1 and 2 are brilliant. Book 3 is okay. Book 4 is awesome. Book 5 is the best. Book 6 is a major disappointment. I mean, half of it's good, but it's got a character called Michia Pa, who I hate. And book 8 kind of rights the ship, but they do some very obvious, they make some obvious creative decisions that were for these times. That derails. It's sad. But in the hands of Naren Shankar, the greatest showrunner alive, he will take this book and those very poor creative decisions. I don't know what was behind them. Maybe they felt guilty because they had a white male lead. As a matter of fact, I know they probably did. If you follow James S.A. Corey on Twitter, which I do not, you know, they're giant, freaking huge SJWs. But the show has largely been free of that stuff. And that's why it's appealed to so many people. And that's why it has a good fan base. Can it happen in the show? Sure. Was it already happening in the books? Sure. Did it disappoint me? Yes. But they could rally with the last book, because the 8th book was better. That's my thoughts on The Expanse. And you know what? James S.A. Corey, Ty Frank, and Dan Abram can think what they want. I don't care. They've really, in the beginning, were great at showing both sides, being neutral, not favoring one party or another. It was excellent world building. And I think maybe the show getting canceled, I don't know. I don't want to, I have no idea why they made such horrible, horrible decisions towards the end. They can fix it. They can fix it. Having Bobby beat the crap out of Amos is stupid. It's just dumb. Matt Guy for $2. For £2. Gary, have you seen Blood Machines yet? No. What's a blood machine? What's a blood machine? Is it something I should know? It's on... An artificial intelligence escapes a spaceship to challenge 2 Blade Runners to a chase? I don't know what Blood Machines is. Yeah, I have no idea what it is. Is it a... It's on Shudder. Oh, okay. Sorry, it took me a minute to get there. It's on Shudder. No, that's why I haven't heard of it. Yeah, I'll go check it out. If you think it's good, I'll check it out. Night Mask. Following Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben's is canceled too. Yeah, Uncle Ben's will be canceled if it's not canceled already. Maybe you're not joking in there, but it'll be canceled. Sean Casey for £5. Just finished Game of Thrones. Took me 4 attempts to get past episode 2. What on earth happened to series 8? When the writers Were the writers on drugs? Sorry, I'm a year late, LOL. Oh, it's okay, Sean Casey. I am seriously thinking about going, since I have a lot of time in my hands, going back and re-examining the entire series. And I'm starting to think maybe none of it was good. I am a giant fan of the books. And if you get me started talking about A Song of Ice and Fire, folks, I won't stop. I can see the viewers dropping right now, but I won't stop. Gay Wolverine. How will that work? I guess they need to change Jean Grey into a male, then the rest of his love's interests. Yes. Well, yeah, you don't even have to change the name. It could still be Jean Grey. Eric K for $5. Eric Santucci for $5. Hey, Gary, in the light of current events, BLM protests, etc., do you see pop culture getting worse than ever before? Race swapping characters, etc. Yes. An independent movement is already starting. The only difference will be, Eric Santucci, is Hollywood doesn't have the money they did 4 months ago. So you're not going to see, that might stop some of it. But no, they're going to gender and race swap like crazy now. Why not create new shows with new characters and be more inclusive and diverse? Well, because it's hard work. It's untested. We're going to get the same results, folks. So Hollywood's going to go back to where they were back in 2017. The results are not going to be any different. Public sentiment hasn't changed. Do you think the working man and woman, and however you identify out there, is sitting watching this crap in Seattle and watching this stuff going on in the world, and we're happy about it? I've heard conversation. Listen, I was at the bank in San Francisco and I saw two very elderly white women discussing all the brave and stunning people in Seattle. Well, both of them in retirement. They're both in very wealthy. I was in a wealthy neighborhood. They're very wealthy people. Your typical wealthy San Franciscan. That's not Joe and Jill average. They're watching this stuff, and now we're genuinely worried about the economy. We're worried about our kids. We're worried about this shit. So Hollywood reminding us of it would be a very bad move. Now, does Hollywood need to get more inclusive and diverse? Sure. Make new characters. That's all. Tell a good story. Make new characters. I don't care what the main character looks like. I am not that narcissistic. I don't need to see a 50-year-old recovering alcoholic or a white male in anything or at all. I mean, it's just bullshit. But I think you establish a character is one thing. You keep it that way, especially when we supported it so long. And what happens every time they make major changes to an established character? It fails. It fails every single time. And if it's successful for a little while, it doesn't last. It's not lasting. Because when you try to make, especially something as timeless, yes, timeless as Doctor Who, Star Wars, and Star Trek. Gabertooth, the homosexual Sabretooth, canceled Venom for 2 Canadian pesos. That could be his boyfriend too. And again, just because people make jokes, just because we are against Wolverine being gay, doesn't mean we're against you personally being gay, or against a community being gay, or against gay marriage, or any that. They are two different subjects that they love to conflate, to vilify people, to try to protect, because these are shallow freaking virtue signaling moves. That's all they are. It's pandering. It's weak. It's giving sloppy seconds to these groups too. And the smart ones don't like it. Joe Bag of Donuts for $5. They would change Jean Grey into two men. Jean and Grey. Yes. Where have I heard this before? Oh, yes. Steve Trevor. Do you think Wolverine would be into isting? Problem being, yes, he's got healing power for £2. Cesar Sosa for $4.99. How can Bob Iger be a CEO with no balls? Fire Kathleen Kennedy. Be done with it. We he won't last in politics. He doesn't have to nut up and do what must be done. No, he's terrible. He's a terrible CEO. Oh, he's great when the company has got like tons of cash reserves and you can buy whatever you want. Oh, what a fucking genius. Look at him now. Kathleen Kennedy is trash. Nothing's going to change while she is there. Zero. They were able to get The Mandalorian through because of Bob Iger. I think Bob Iger and Jon Favreau, and based on what we've heard, Jon Favreau had a lot to do with it. He practically begged for the job. Let's go to Cameron Paja just for a moment. I think when Bob Iger's ego is on the line, I think he makes decisions and gets shit done. But I think it's all about Bob. It's only ever been about Bob. It's all about Bob. Let's go to geeksandgamers.com. I don't know if I can go to geeksandgamers.com. Oh, I can now. Okay.
Mind blowing. And again, that's just a prediction you're making. That's not, saying you have.
I don't have any internal knowledge.
Insight.
I do have people who know George Lucas personally and well, who have said to me that he hates The Last Jedi and he's horrified by what's happened.
Really?
I've had people, screenwriters that have worked with Lucasfilm, that have told me directly that
See, I didn't know. I never even thought to ask you that question. So can we? And of course, I'm not going to ask you any questions specifically about names because I would never ask you to do that. But
names,
so now he hates The Last Jedi. Do you know anything else about like where he stands on the other films? Like Solo and all. Have you heard anything from anybody?
Okay. Well, I heard the most about The Last Jedi because you can see I'm vocal on it. And so when I started getting people to talk to me privately, so, someone who I'll not identify, who I know has very deep roots inside of Lucasfilm today and the George Lucas camp, as in personal relationships with Lucas himself, have said to me that Lucas has said privately that he feels The Last Jedi, to use the actual word, is soulless, that it lacks a soul. And that he was so shocked. He was open about his disappointment that they didn't go new ways with the Force Awakens. That he thought, and he said in interviews that I've watched on YouTube, where he said, I thought they recycled it, right, which was my critique. But by the time that Last Jedi had come out, he had already gotten into so much trouble with his white slavers comments and everything else. Mm-hmm. I'm sure in his multi-billion-dollar contract there is a non-disparagement clause. Do not bring down the value of this franchise that you've sold to us. So I'm sure some lawyers called and said, George, you really don't want Disney calling up lawyers on this, man. They could claim that you brought down Last Jedi from $2 billion to $1.2 billion, and they could sue you for $800 million, right? You don't want to have this fight. And so, he probably wisely, said, okay, I'm not going to publicly criticize it anymore. And then he said these carefully worded things like it's a beautifully made movie.
And that is so accurate because even in interviews, he even talked about, he's like, last time, got myself in trouble, so I'm just gonna, so that is fascinating.
I don't have the slightest bit of doubt from the source that I got it from, who I know knows Lucas. I know that he knows Lucas, right? I'm going to say this, and I've never revealed this publicly. I have a friend who's worked on, who's very close to Jon Favreau and has worked on several of his movies. And this is what he said to me, and I don't know Jon Favreau. He said to me, Jon Favreau hates The Last Jedi.
Whoa.
Again, that's telephone. Favreau did not say this.
Jon Favreau hates The Last Jedi. Now, are you surprised? I'm not. I mean, it's a shitty movie. It's a shitty movie. And, God. All right, let me preface this by saying, this is not something I'm going to make a habit out of, okay? This was early on in the channel, and I don't regret doing it. But I've had conversations with like real producers at Hollywood. I am currently for one thing, I was asked not to say anything, and I won't. And another thing, I'm under an NDA. Now, part of my job here is commentating. I've got information right now that I could dump that I get probably my first million view video, but I won't do it. It's not worth it. Okay. But you'll find out someday. I can promise you. I can absolutely promise you within the next 2 years, you will find out the information I know. And by the way, you'll be very, very happy. Very, very happy. But, yeah, no. And I can tell you without a doubt that I have talked to creative people who actually work in Hollywood, and a couple of them you might have heard of, fucking hate Star Trek Discovery. Hate Kurtzman's Star Trek with a purple passion. They hate it. They hate it as much as we do, maybe more. So if I hear Jon Favreau, the man who helped create the MCU, gave us one of the greatest superhero movies ever, and one of the coolest independent movies ever too, Swingers, and did a damn good job as Foggy Nelson in the director's cut for Daredevil, which I still like with Ben Affleck. Yeah, I bet you he does hate The Last Jedi, and I bet you he does hate the direction Star Wars is going. And maybe I'll be honest with you, prior to the events of the last couple of weeks, I did not believe that there were two split camps with Disney. I thought that there might be some arguments, creative arguments, because that happens all the time. But I didn't think there were actually two camps. I know that's a rumor Jeremy has talked about, and Jeremy's got like legit sources. I know that for a fact because they predicted the Ewoks, seeing the Ewoks and Rise of Skywalker and stuff. Yeah, Jeremy's got a legit source there. So, and it was something else too. I can't remember. Jeremy can remind you of it. So I didn't believe there was two distinct camps there. I just thought they're basically politically aligned, and it's just a couple of people squabbling, but Kathleen Kennedy's still in charge. And I don't believe Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy like each other. I think they are professionally nice to each other, but they probably secretly hate each other. And I don't believe Bob Iger can do anything to Kathleen Kennedy. I think there's some kind of poison pill or something in her contract where Bob Iger just can't get rid of her because she's been awful. And also, I think there's some truth to the fact that Bob Iger doesn't want to fire a woman. I just don't think he does. I think that stops him more than anything. I think Bob's ego stops him more than anything. That being said, hearing Cameron Paja say this, now Cameron Paja, go look him up on IMDb. He's worked in Hollywood. The guy knows what he's talking about. I see him as a legitimate source. I believe him. And now I believe there actually is a division in Star Wars. Does that give anybody hope? No, I would not get any hope over this because it's just a creative direction. It's not the identity. It's not the removal of identity politics. It's just a matter of how much. I think I don't want to speak for anybody out there, but based on the information I've gotten, it sounds like people wanted to think that these two camps were Kathleen Kennedy identity politics camp and Fandom menace Jon Favreau real Star Wars camp. No. I think we could probably get some good Mandalorian-esque Star Wars, which doesn't take any chances. It's just back to basics and we're just going to go with that. And that might not be a bad way to go. That's a way to still make money. But if you ever want to make $1 billion in a film again, there's only two things Star Wars can do right now. And probably ever. Because anything else is rebuilding from scratch. If you go back 1,000 years and you start adapting EU, to everybody but the EU guys, that is starting from scratch. Nobody knows what this stuff is. It's got a specific fan base that love it a lot and bless their hearts. But I don't know if the normies would catch on to it. You might as well start your own damn brand new franchise. You'll be starting at the bottom with that. Because the word Star Wars on something don't mean as much as they did 5 years ago. They just don't. So a Darth Vader movie would make money. Absolutely make money. Remaking the original trilogy initially would make a lot of money. People would hate it. I would hate it. Doesn't matter. I hated The Last Jedi. I hated The Rise of Skywalker. Disney doesn't give a shit. They're going to do what they're going to do. And it doesn't matter how sacrilegious it is. Look what they've already done. They've already pissed all over the franchise. So, of course, that's their only card left in the deck if they want a $1 billion franchise. And who knows? We were talking about that in the High Council yesterday. Are we going to get $1 billion movies anymore? Because we have a lot less theaters than we do. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. Or maybe they remake the original trilogy. I pitched this on this channel 5 years ago, that if you're going to remake the original trilogy, do it as a TV series. A New Hope, 3 seasons. Empire Strikes Back, 3 seasons. Return of the Jedi, 3 seasons. You adapt the novelizations. You adapt the radio series, which are great. And you do it that way. And you add in Biggs and some other characters. But honestly, I don't want it remade. Ever. 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 But that's what they're going to do. So now I do believe there is a split at Disney. I think there's 2 camps. But I don't think we're going to get traditional Star Wars. I think we'll get something like Rebels. Like we'll get a Filoni version that a lot of people will probably be happy with. Wouldn't be enough to get me back. But listen, again, like I said in my video, I don't want to piss on anybody's enjoyment of Star Wars. A lot of people in the Fandom Menace still enjoy Star Wars and want to buy Star Wars stuff. It is dead to me. I don't want to buy any. I don't even have a desire to buy anything secondhand. I own 3 Star Wars things. I own my vintage curtains. Okay. I own a collector's, an AFI George Lucas gift. So when they did that AFI special for George Lucas, they gave away gift bags, which was a box set of all his movies up to then, a DVD box set with a little case that says George Lucas. I have that. And I have a painting by my friend Bill Selby, who did the first Star Wars poster that wasn't a one sheet, and it's the Cantina band playing, and my friend of mine painted that. And I'll never get rid of those things because one's a gift from my wife, or both were a gift from my wife, and the other one was a gift from my friend Bill. And I gave everything else away. I gave it away. I didn't sell it. I gave it away. If you look at my old videos, right here on this outer wall, it used to be Star Wars figures. They're all gone. After I saw The Last Jedi, I ripped them all down. Good job on the interview, Jeremy. Please go to his channel to check out the live stream. It is linked in my video that I released last night. If you want to go check out the full live stream. And it looks like we'll be getting Cameron on Friday Night Tights someday. Someday. Thomas Ballou, welcome to the proto-molecule level. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Slade Wilson for $5. Let's start a petition for Michael J. White as John Stewart Green Lantern. Hell yeah. I'm behind that 1,000%. Az could play Gimli in the new Lord of the Rings for $2. He could. Az would be a great Gimli. Remind me, why did Superman stop Luthor's plan to sink California in the first movie? What would that not have saved the world? Correct me if I'm wrong. Tesseract for $5 Canadian. What stopped Luthor's plan? He turned back time. He turned back time to save Lois and was able to get the other nuclear bombs, and then he took Luthor to jail. I think the Eternals isn't going to do well. The current bug combined with Endgame tying off most of the stories we cared about, the momentum is gone. Louis the Plank for $10. You are correct, sir. Momentum. It's about momentum. And they treated the MCU kind of like comic books. And they came out consistently and they had a consistent quality. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. Endgame got rid of Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. You are only going to get one more Hemsworth movie. That's what I'm hearing. One more. That's it. So that's the big 3 gone. And then we're going to get the all new, all different Marvel, and nobody is going to watch it for long. I know there's some MCU heads out there going, we'll watch it forever. No, you won't. No, you won't. Eternals is a horrible idea because they went about it the wrong way. For one, you don't get an inexperienced director for the Eternals. You get somebody who's familiar with Kirby's work, and you make that a beautiful tribute to Kirby. I would like to retort with, hang on, I don't need my headphones anymore. I would like to apologize for the state of California. World, the United States, in particular, Arizona, I am sorry. I am sorry my state is filled with a bunch of idiots who continue to elect a bunch of idiots to do idiotic things, and then we move out of this state when we don't like it, and then we start voting like Californians when we invade your state. You have my solemn promise that I will not vote like a California when I move out, a Californian when I move out of this state. And again, I apologize for the state of California. Thank you. Julie. Justin White, you look like my friend Kirk Kiffman. You look a lot like my childhood, my adolescent best friend, Kirk Kiffman. He's a locksmith down in San Diego. He's a cool guy. 2 Canadian pesos. Killing orcs is beep. Don't you know? Killing orcs is it ist? I'm sure it is. Gregory Sadmek for $10. Beerbug, are you alluding to Beerbug from Folklore? If so, that is great. No, I'm alluding to the one in our current lore, unfortunately. Could you, just a moment, somebody just came to my door and I need to tell my son to go check it out. I recently purchased a Watchmen toaster on eBay and somebody stole it off my porch. So I got to make sure. So give me just a moment. Just a moment. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, somebody stole my Watchmen toaster off my porch. I was pissed. And you know, I what am I going to do? I'm not going to I don't know if there's buyer protection with that. I don't want the other guy to not get his money. It wasn't his fault. The guy sent me the package and did everything he was supposed to do, and it goes on my porch, which you have to climb stairs for. And somebody freaking snaked it. So, and I haven't done anything about it yet. Maybe there's buyer protection, but I don't want the other guy to get screwed either. It wasn't his fault. It got stolen off the porch. But, yes. And it's from Az bringing up toasters the other day. I'm like, God, I miss my Watchmen toaster where I can make little Rorschach toast, but it's a plastic toaster. Critical Drinker's new video, Why the Past Matters. Keaton Smith, if you have not seen the Critical Drinker's last video, absolutely proves why he is an international treasure. And you see why he gets millions, hundreds of thousands and millions of views. He'll eventually get millions. And why he's an upper tier YouTuber. That last video, cut above, flat out a cut above. I could never achieve that. Peppermint oil capsule for £2. Don't know how hashtags work, but hashtag just veil Star Wars. Yeah. So that's in reference to Doomcock's video, where according to one of Doomcock's sources, Doomscock. According to one of Doomcock's sources, there is an attempt to fix Star Wars, and they're going to use the veil from Star Wars Rebels, which is the space between spaces, and it's basically time travel. Didn't we hear time travel rumored with Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, and basically it's to fix the mess and eradicate the Disney trilogy from canon. Now, Dubcock did report that Kathleen Kennedy is against this. And if she's against it, then it's not going to happen because she runs Lucasfilm. She's the boss. There is no usurping her power unless Bob Iger steps in. Catastrophe for $2. How would you feel about a John Waters Star Wars? Well, it would be better than Rian Johnson's. Peter Ford for $4.99. Look up in the sky. It's a sparrow. It's a balloon. No, it's a man. It's a man. Snell World. Thank you, Peter Ford. Snell World for $5. In the new 52 Action Comics 1 with is new 52 Action Comics 1 with a CGC grade of 9.8 worth $100? No. No. Get new 52 Action Comics number 1. Well, is it a variant? If it's a variant, maybe. If it's just the newsstand edition, just buy it raw and get it CGC'd yourself. And yeah, you can probably get it for $3 raw. Any word on criticism of, thank you, Snell World, for $5. Yeah, do not pay $100 for that. No. Kyle Timmons for $5. Any word on criticism or issues behind the scenes at Doctor Who like there were with Walter Mosley in STD and with Lucas and Favreau in Star Wars? I don't know. BBC is incredibly tight-lipped because they've all drank the Kool-Aid there. You know, what we rely on is a free-thinking, common-sense person who somehow works at the BBC or works at Disney or works at CBS to get through to us. With CBS, I have a couple sources. Again, one of them I know. And at Doctor Who, I know. I've had people reach out to me with a bunch of stuff, but I can't verify any of it. And I don't really like to run with rumors that much. Once in a while is fine, but I would rather react to what has happened and give you my opinion. But I have not heard of any specific trouble between writers or anything like that, or any drama. But there are problems. But I don't think it's creator on creator problem, if you know what I'm saying. Black Tiger 001 for $5 Canadian. Please shout out Heroes World Comic Shop at 8601 Warden Avenue in Markham, Ontario. Love the shop, and I'm sure you'll love it if you ever go there. All right, let's go. Oh, I shouted this one out before, but I'll shout it out again. Yeah, we've shouted this one out before, but I don't mind doing it twice. There we go. Heroes World. I'm going to read this off. You can see some of it there. And they are in Ontario. There you go. Thanks, bud. Battle Hymn 63. Rebranding existing characters is insulting, eh? Here, LGBTQ plus community have this. I mean, why put actual effort into it? I know, right? It's fucking, and you know what? The people who go, it's time, are largely guilt-ridden, white, elitist liberals. Or progressives, or whatever you want to call them. Right now, that's our biggest problem in this country, is this self-loathing, as our good friend Young Ripa puts it, self-loathing white folk is a big fucking problem in this country. Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford could have said no to destroying their beloved original characters. They could have spared the fans. Sonia Apocalypse Now for $5. You're absolutely correct. Harrison Ford didn't give a fuck. He wanted him to die. And screw Harrison for that, by the way. Screw Harrison Ford. I used to like him, man. Screw that dude. Mark Hamill is a moron on Twitter, and apparently a moron in real life too. Unfortunately, I heard about some of his real life issues, and he's an actor. He's not very smart. And a lot of, listen, actors are, go listen to an interview with Anthony Hopkins and he'll tell you what, or John Malkovich, both of those guys, very intelligent, will tell you how smart actors are. Okay. Yes, they could have said no. I know Mark wasn't happy. Mark could have quit. Mark could have quit. Give him back the money and quit. Hey, Leonard Nimoy, I don't know exactly what his reasoning was for not being in Generations, but I'm guessing he didn't want to be a part of that crap. I could be wrong. Maybe they just didn't pay him enough. Kathleen Kennedy is the pimple that just won't pop. She is a boil on Star Wars' ass. Canceled Venom for 2 Canadian pesos. Rin Wesley for $5. Remember this. The current destruction of our country's historical symbols and cultural icons started with the destruction of our pop culture heroes. It won't stop there. That's why we're fighting for it here. So, all of those critics of ours who tell us to talk about bigger issues, this is a big issue. It's always been about the bigger picture. Always. And stop telling me what to talk about. Stop telling me what to do. There is a lot of unsolicited advice on YouTube these days. Telling by the way, a fan movement with no leader and no organization. There's a couple of people out there who really love to tell this fan movement what to do while they never really do anything with their own channels. When they could, they waste their time on us. I don't know why. I actually liked the Solo movie and thought it was the best Disney Star Wars. I'd love a sequel. Why all the hate for the movie? Guess I'm a normie. Picard sucks for $4.99. The movie sucks because it deconstructs Han Solo. It is not consistent with his character. He gets led around by his nose by Emilia Clarke, where she ends up taking care of the bad guy and saving his ass. And their big villain was a 16-year-old freckled girl. It was ridiculous. It was boring. And Orville Redenbacher didn't do a very good job as Han Solo. But it was very much storytelling through the lens of intersectional feminism, including an SJW robot. By the way, that robot is now the Millennium Falcon. So it's the Millennial Falcon now. And every chance they get to insert or shoehorn a female in there so they did it first, or they did it better, or they did it smarter, it goes way beyond trying to just bring more women into Star Wars. It goes way beyond that. But that's okay. You can like it. That's fine. Like I said, we all like shit. It's no big deal. It's just as long as you're cool with me not liking it, and I'm totally cool with you liking it, and we can, guess what, still be friends. 8-inch Mego Hulk. Again, I'm going to point to... it's right above my head. Do you see it? It's like right above my head. Right there. It's my 8-inch Mego Hulk. Eight-inch Mego Hulk says, I know someone who worked with Filoni on Clone Wars. He told me Filoni is a sycophant. 4 years ago, he was buttering up to Kathleen Kennedy. Now it's Favreau. I have heard the very same. And I'm not surprised. I mean, look at how he got the gig. And you got to be to some point. Captain Spire for $2. Well said. 8-inch Mego Hulk for $7.99 Australian. Just checked on my package. It's arrived. Enjoy. Thank you, Captain Spire. I will go pick it up. I went to UPS store yesterday and the line was too damn long. I'm going to try it again today. Canceled Venom for 2 Canadian pesos. Gary, do you remember the Droids cartoon and theme? I don't remember the theme. I know Tom just played. Tom, I see you in the chat too. I know Tom just played it on a live stream a couple of months ago. But I remember the cartoon. The cartoon came out right when I really started, like, I was always into girls. I had a girlfriend in 3rd grade, but like it kicking into high gear was when I was like 15, 16. And that's when Droids came out. I kind of checked out all that stuff. California is currently fucked up beyond all recognition. It's not on you, says Crow T Robot for $2. I still feel the need to apologize. I take responsibility for California. Forgotten Quill for $10. Would you honestly be this upset if they did a lesbian Jean Grey that had her making out with Rogue? You guys would eat that stuff up. Let me have my gay Wolverine fantasy come to life once. God, it can happen. Forgotten Quill. It can happen in your head. No, I wouldn't be eating it up if Jean Grey was a lesbian. So don't make that assumption on me. Thank you for the $10, but that is a false assumption. I would say the same goddamn thing. If you want to deconstruct a character so you can fulfill a fantasy, dude, have the fantasy in your head all day long. I don't care. Forgotten Quill, tell me in 2 sentences or less why it is a good character decision for the story and for the theme of X-Men. Why does it make a difference? X-Men's already an allegory for that. You're doing a double allegory. The whole mutant thing is an allegory for gay. And it was for race too. It works in every way. That's why it was the comic book that appealed to absolutely everyone. Gay, straight, left, right. It has the most mass appeal of any comic book, more than Batman, more than Spider-Man, X-Men. That's why it was the best-selling comic book for decades, because it brought people together, and it did deal with those issues already through mutants. So you don't need to really make some gay, but you got North Star, and now you got Iceman. All right, so if they're part of the team, and the team is 7 people, that's representation. What it'll do is it'll piss off fans, and it won't piss off fans because people don't like gay people. It will piss off fans because it's not Wolverine. And we need to know that distinction. And you can't get mad at people for I mean, how would you like it if somebody went in and made North Star straight? I don't know if you like North Star. I don't want to make any false assumptions. But no, I wouldn't like it if Buffy was turned into a dude for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I wouldn't like it if Buffy was turned gay for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Unless it was originally part of the story. And by the way, that was a show that dealt with that fucking 20 years ago. This shit's like we've moved. Listen, normalization has happened. There are always going to be holdouts. And you know what? You need to work on those holdouts. And guess what? The holdouts aren't really here anymore. They're still around. They'll always be around, by the way. We're not going to eradicate that stuff in our lifetime. I wish we could, but no. But there are other countries where that fight can be fought. And I suggest people go and fight in those countries because it's bad. There's awful persecution going on in those countries. DLA Graphical for $9.99. I'm all for diverse representation, but the SJWs are treating a marathon like a sprint by pressuring big pandering IPs to be woke rather than supporting and coming up with diverse stories to grow. What Young Ripa calls genuine diversity, genuine inclusivity. All for it. Absolutely all for it. Make new characters. Critical Drinker understands the American spirit better than many Americans that I know. By the way, best wishes on the move. Looks like I'm stuck here. Ryan DeLucci, I'm sorry. Thank you for the $4.99. I appreciate you. GWS Hunter for $5. My parents were born and lived in San Francisco Bay Area for 70 years, and they hope that California falls into the ocean, even if they have to go with it. I'm almost at that point. Lesbians didn't save Batwoman, won't save X-Men. Lady Gravemaster drops the mic right there. Lesbians didn't save Batwoman, won't save X-Men. Boom. John Solo 32, thank you for the Canadian $5.40. I appreciate you. All right, we're going to wrap things up, folks. It's been 2 hours, 46 minutes. Went a little over there. Thank you, Lady Gravemaster, for being here and being a wrench. Thank you, Eric K. There'll be a member stream in a couple hours. All wrenches, keep in mind, I want to try to have a meeting on Thursday, a wrench meeting on Thursday. Thank you, everyone who has supported the channel over the last 6 years. We are so close to 250,000 subscribers. And of course, I have you guys to thank for it. I cannot express my gratitude. The next live stream hopefully will be the Exozone tomorrow. And for sure, Friday Night Tights at 2 p.m. with guests and some Perry Chan goodness. And I'm going to work on my Picard video. And yes, I have a Doctor Who rumor video that's coming out soon. So everybody have a great day. Not all who wander are lost. And oh, wait, did we get a last minute here? Java Bean for $2.99. Move to Austin. I'll show you the original, move to Australia. I'll show you the original Mad Max locations. Oh my God, that's almost worth it. That is almost worth it, Java Bean. Thank you for the Australian $2.99. Not all who wander are lost, and may the wings of liberty never lose a feather. See you soon.